New to the home buying process or haven't purchased in a while, this is how the home purchase for many people start with me. Let's take a look at it. Contact. Okay, stay tuned for the next steps on how we take you, the buyer, from this to closing.
Hello?
Hi, this is Allison.
Yeah.
Hey, Allison, it's Brian with Remax. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Do you have a few minutes?
Sure, yeah. So I hope from work.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I just had like a little consultation, some questions I wanted to ask so we can kind of get to know each other and it'll help me better deliver the results you're looking for, so to speak.
Okay.
Okay. Are you a first-time home buyer?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So you've never had any experience, even with friends, purchasing a home at all? This is all completely new to you?
My sister bought a house last year, but, that's pretty much it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot of people
Okay.
yet that have bought a house.
Okay. What are some of the reasons for purchasing a home?
Well, I have 2 dogs, and I think if ultimately, maybe renting would be my first preference. But like I said, I have 2 dogs, and I've been researching rentals in the Pittsburgh area, and the ones that allow dogs are, 1, not very nice, and 2, it's really expensive. And like I said, I'm moving to Pittsburgh, and I plan to be in Pittsburgh for a while. So I just felt financially it was a better decision.
Well, I mean, there's news articles out there and statistics are showing that it's actually cheaper to purchase with like a 3.5%.
Exactly what I found.
Yeah, I mean, a 3.5% interest rate, that's insane. I mean, my boss here has a property management company, and, he finds tenants for the landlords, and, they feel they have them lining up, tenants lining up, and they just command any price, so it is actually cheaper to purchase than rent. So how long have you been looking?
I've been looking, every day, probably for 3 weeks now. But, before that, I didn't know that I had this job, so I haven't been looking, religiously for very long.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a new, opportunity that arose quite suddenly.
Well, that's fantastic. Hey, you got to make the best of those opportunities.
Yeah.
So what sites have you been going on to look for properties, if you don't mind me asking?
Originally I was on Remax, and then I realized that, that obviously they only listed the Remax, houses. Then I got onto, my sister recommended Zillow, because that's what she was using, and I was also on Trulia, I think it's called.
Yes.
But mainly I've been looking at, Zillow.
Okay. Now, and you had mentioned, in the north side. Have you narrowed your search to any specific areas?
Well, my mom and I drove up to Pittsburgh yesterday just to do a little research on the neighborhood, see what they were all about. And originally, like I said, I was looking at the north side and Lawrenceville, and because I heard that was kind of starting to be up and coming, like they were trying to clean it up a little bit. So I looked at Lawrenceville yesterday. We didn't make it to the north shore, the north side, and I really like Lawrenceville. Do you have any
I do have experience
do you know the
there.
area at all?
Yes, I do.
Lawrenceville area?
I do know the area, yes. I have had listings in there and I've represented buyers in Lawrenceville, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Tell me what your ideal home would look like. How many bedrooms, bathrooms, stuff like that. What I'm trying to establish some sort of search criteria for you as well.
Okay. I like the row home, like the townhome look.
So you're open to, sorry to interrupt you, you're open to townhouses, freestanding homes, and or condos?
Yeah, anything. I'm looking at anything. However, I do like the townhome row home the best.
Okay, because I was going to say, when I set up searches for these, for buyers, I'd rather you see too much, even if you're not sure if you would be interested.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would rather see 2 months as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I know you're probably, you probably like to shop, so shopping for homes is something very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? I mean, is there a bedroom and bathroom requirement?
Definitely at least 2 bedrooms. 3 would be fine too, but I'd be happy with 2 bedrooms.
Okay.
Bathroom, I'm okay with 1. I'm not picky about that.
Okay.
Like I said, I have 2 dogs, 2 fairly large dogs. So, like a little backyard or an outside space. It doesn't even have to have grass. I don't really care about that. Just, somewhere that I can take them out the back door and they can go to the bathroom or whatever. I would like move-in ready just because I'm young and don't have a whole lot of savings, so I don't really have a lot of money to fix up the house after I buy it and move in.
So we want to avoid fixer-uppers, so to speak.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like it to kind of already be ready to go.
Turnkey. We call it toothbrush ready. You just come in, bring your toothbrush, and you just start living.
That sounds perfect.
What are 3 things you think you just can't live without?
I would say the outside space is a huge one.
Okay.
Probably close to like either public transportation or like the reason I'm moving into this, like I was even looking to move into the city was just to be closer to like little restaurants and bars and shops. Right now I live out in the middle of nowhere pretty much, and I hate that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like location, and then like I said too, just kind of moving ready and
Okay.
fairly updated.
Okay. So I just want to recap. We kind of need a price range. What is? I know you said $900 a month, but I need to actually know like a house price range. Did your lender kind of give you an idea, a ballpark?
Yeah, well, like this is what was throwing me off with like the last realtor that I was talking to. She told me, I told her, I was looking at like $900 per month. She's like, oh, well, that's like $100,000 house. And I was like, really? I could have thought it'd be a little bit more than that. Then when I talked to my, my loan originator, she was like, oh, we were looking at like $140,000, $130,000, $120,000 price range.
Yeah.
And I know it all goes, like, I know real estate taxes have a lot to do with it. And that's another thing the last realtor mentioned, that like the Allegheny County had like a reassessment. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's all.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, it's all over the news. The 2013 assessments. It's all public knowledge too, and I've actually saved a couple buyers that really didn't have the 2013 assessments in mind when I did the taxes for them, and it kind of put them out of the price range. So. And we'll cross those bridges when we identify some properties we like and formulate a quote-unquote short list, so to speak. But just for means of setting up the search, I was kind of looking for a maximum price range that you and your lender would have discussed you would be comfortable with, and I would need a minimum price range as well.
Well, I know I can call her again tomorrow and double check. She said she didn't tell me like the full number, she told me like per month. And she said per month I would be approved at $1,200 a month. But because she's like, because you said that you wanted to stay around $900, that's what I'll put on your pre-approval letter. But I can call her tomorrow and find out exactly, like the total.
Yeah, I kind of need that. I mean, I'm not trying to shoehorn you in any price property, but just to set up a parameters of for what this search is going to do. It can't look for properties by monthly price range. It needs to know like a maximum and minimum. And let's just say, for instance, you tell me it's 120. I usually set it up for 130, not to oversell you. I just want you to see what else is out there, and over time you will see that those properties will come down in price. So if you saw it at 123 Anywhere Street at 130, as it comes down, it'll come down in your price range. You're like, I've been watching that property come down in price.
Okay.
And if we go too low on the price range, then you're going to get yourself into some, fixer-upper type property. So once we find out your maximum, it'll be easier for us to set up the minimum. And again, I'm just trying to set out the parameters of this search. It'll take me a couple keystrokes to make any change once we get the search set up. Any change you need, I can raise, lower the price, add an area, delete an area, whatever. It sounds like maybe we should take like a radius from the center of Pittsburgh, like a 10-mile radius, to search for properties. Because that'll take you over to the south side, which is kind of like the north side, unless you have some reason you don't want to be over there. But it obviously has shops and nightlife and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
There was one property like that when my mom and I went down to Lawrenceville yesterday, we specifically looked at. It was, the address was 190 and a half 44th Street.
Okay.
It was right off of Butler Street.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, we were able, obviously we couldn't go in it yesterday, but we, like, looked around back, and they have a nice big backyard, and the inside's real nice and everything. But my mom had a question about, like, the foundation. It looked like they might have, you know, did some work on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to find that out besides getting an inspection?
Well, what happens is whenever any seller in the state of Pennsylvania sells a property, as long as they've lived there, they will have to fill out what's called seller's disclosures. And it is a state-created document that asks questions such as, do you know of any problems with the HVAC? What did you do to rectify? Do you know anything wrong with the foundation? What did you do to rectify it? Do you know of any stains on the carpet? I mean, it's like 6-page, 7-page document they have to fill out legally.
I actually have that already for this property.
Okay, does it?
It didn't say anything on it, but then do you just have to, like, go by that? Like,
Well,
work for it?
you know, maybe they've only owned the property a couple of years and they're not aware of any problems. So,
They don't know,
yeah, I mean, they can't answer that question if they don't know, if they never had a problem. So it would be up to us to make sure, and that's why you get a good home inspection. It's going to cost you around $300 for the home inspection,
Okay.
and it's worth every penny of it.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't do that until, and I'll email you a video on YouTube that I did that explains the process. You don't really want to, we can't do a home inspection until we get the property under contract.
Okay.
All right, but I'm not going to get into all that now. I just want to get the parameters of the search set up, and then I'll email you the link to the YouTube, and that'll enlighten you, I think, a lot on the process.
Okay.
Let me see here. So, you know, time frame, I understand ASAP. Price range, you're going to get that for me. I have an idea on what you're looking for. We'll do a radius around the Pittsburgh area. What's important to you about your agent working for you?
Just because I'm so new at this, you know, just giving me guidance and maybe being patient, just because, like I said, because I have no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Those pretty much the main things, because the last person I worked with was, you know, did not do that at all, and I was just like, well, you know, I'm going to try to find somebody who can explain it a little better. So those are the big things, and also just, you know, I'm not familiar with the Pittsburgh area at all.
Okay.
So, you know, that's your market. So,
Yep, absolutely.
you know, anything that you just, you know, insider information, or, you know, just anything that you've learned over the years that would make me, help me pick, like, a nice, safe location.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I put a ton of first-time home buyers, and especially this year, with the interest rates as low as they are, into homes. So that's a non-issue. I mean, I'll hold your hand on that. You know, and as far as the areas, I mean, I've lived in Pittsburgh my whole life, not specifically in the city, but I know the city pretty well, so that won't be an issue either.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, you know, moving forward, here's the next step. I just need you to get me that one thing, and that is, I mean, I may even just set up the search with a generic price range in there, like 80 to 150, just to get some things going, and then maybe tomorrow you can kind of get back to me if you want me to tame it down, shrink it down a little bit, whatever. But I'm going to email you some information on the process and kind of a recap of our conversation here, and then you should start receiving properties as soon as I set up a search here within a half an hour.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and then from there, I mean, it's pretty simple. You know, maybe get a different pre-approval letter that shows me like your maximum price range, and then once you identify some properties, you'll see on the website that that's going to be properties going to be sent to you. You'll have a way to mark each property with like a smiley face, which is your favorite, like a medium smiley face, which is like a possibility, and then a frowny face, which is a complete negative. And every time you log in, you can make little notes for each property and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool system we have for you.
Okay, cool.
All right. Do you have any questions for me at this point in time?
I don't think so, but if I do, I'll write it down and remember to ask you.
Absolutely. I mean, I only have one phone number. You have it. I have one phone, which is my lifeblood. So you could text, email me, call it. You can Facebook, Twitter, any method you want to do. It comes into my one phone, and I usually have it on me at just about every point in time of the day.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna get some information over to you right now, and have a good drive home.
All right. Thank you.
All right. See you, Allison.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.